Hello, hello, hello. Now, not too long ago, we looked over some of the facial interfaces that I've been using with the Quest 3 and the Quest 3S. Now, we have one here from AMVR, the FC4M. It's a magnetic facial interface for the Quest 3, which means that we have some unboxing to do. We're going to have a look at this model. It's not compatible with the Q3S, which we know already, but it should be a handy upgrade from what we're currently running, which is a much older facial interface from the same people, AMVR. Now, full disclosure, AMVR did send this to me for free for review, and thanks to the guys for that. But what you're hearing here are my own thoughts on the products, and they have not looked at the script beforehand. I've had no steering on anything that we talk about here. So you know this is my thoughts on the product and how good or bad I think it is. Okay, so with that in mind, let's have a look at opening this. Now, it looks like we've got a, there we go. So we've got a little sleeve here to pull off. And that gives us a very nondescript brown box. We've got a quite thick facial interface here. And that has, you can see, I don't know if you can see this, but you've got these built-in magnets. So this is, when they say it's magnetic, they're talking about this part of it. When we come to install it, it will still install with the same kind of clip mechanism that we have with the Quest 3 ordinarily. But in addition to that, these are removable by magnets, so you can go off, clean it, and hopefully that makes your life a little bit easier. That's a nice to see addition. We've got the quality certificate and a little booklet on the facial interface. And it tells you what we have here. So we have soft pleather or ventilated pads. We have the actual interface, and then we have the silicone nose guard. Let's have a look and see what we have in the bigger bag. So pre-installed, we've got the pleather material installed. This will just pull off, like we said before. These are magnetically attached. So you want to put this one on. I mean, I can do it pretty quickly, having never even seen this product before. So it's nice, and you can see it sits on there nice and cleanly. Very nice addition. And if you prefer the pleather, you can put that back on. But what I wanted to see before we do any of that is that this interface has some nice vents around it, so we can hopefully keep ourselves nice and cool without leaking too much light inside. I've got this little mechanical adjuster on each side. You can hear the clicks. And you can see what's happening here is that pushing the facial interface back and forth so we can get a little bit more distance from the lenses if we are glasses wearers, which is nice. And these little recording a video. So yeah, so we've got the little adjusters here. We can adjust both of them, and that will give us a nice quick adjustment on the distance from our lenses. So it protects our glasses and our lenses, which is another nice addition. I particularly like this mechanism because when we come to have a look at the old AMVR solution, it is a lot easier to deal with. We're going to remove what we've got here. We've got our BoboVR Headstrap on. That's going to come off so we can get to the facial interface and install something new. So these just slide off. It's nice and easy. A little bit of force required, but yeah, nice and easy. And that can go somewhere else for a bit, which gives us the facial interface that we want to remove. Now this is another AMVR facial interface, and I've had this one for a while. Now this one is attached with Velcro, which is okay, but I really like the magnetic approach. I think that's going to make life a lot easier. So we've got to try and slowly pry this off. We don't want to damage the clips. I mean, we might want to use this facial interface again. So you can actually see these ones are detached already on the side here. I've found that before with a lot of these facial interfaces that they can take a little bit of effort to get them off. Once they're detached, there we go. So we're just using gentle, even pressure, and then they come off pretty easily. So that is our core Quest 3 unit. Teeny tiny, considering that includes a battery. So this interface here is an older model interface, but I'm very interested in installing this. So let's get this installed. That will place over the top the headset. Go away, horrible fly. And then we just push it in. There we go. You can feel the clicks. It all just clicks in place. There we go. Now that is in. Just make sure those bits are pushed in as well. But you can feel that is now solidly locked into place. And that was actually a lot easier to do than the previous model. The previous model, I don't know if you noticed, but it was partially unclipped already. That's because I found it difficult to align that. But if we, and you can see now, look at that. That pushes quite a distance out and back again. So I have mine relatively close, but if you wanted a bit more space for glasses, then this is a great way to adjust that, especially if you have your friends using your VR headset as well. You've got the wipe-free pleather cover here, which you actually touch your face. You've got the fabric, which is actually pretty damn thin. So you'd be able to get this attached. Let's actually do so. And that'll probably put you even closer to the lenses because there's not a lot of material there. Let's just get that in. There's really not a lot of material there on the top. There's plenty on the sides, but not much on top, which I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think if you wanted a bit more cushion, the pleather solution might be better for you. But if you actually want to be as close as possible to the lenses, then this is great. In fact, I'm going to just put it against my face just to make sure my face doesn't touch, which it doesn't, thankfully. But I would make sure my eyes don't touch the lenses. Normally you can tell pretty quickly if that's going to be the case. Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised by the thickness and the comfort. I've just touched my face on that. That feels nice and comfortable. Let's try the pleather. I'm not usually a fan of the plastic leather solutions because they make my face sweat. See, I'm doing this one-handed while I'm holding the headset and probably wouldn't do that ordinarily. Then I'll put that up against my face. Yeah, that I can feel that it cushions my face in the right place, but it does feel decidedly less comfortable in what is British summer, and it's pretty warm right now, which is also why I'm doing this all from the garden. Easy to install. The adjusters I really like. They make it a lot easier to adjust, and we will test this out for comfort in a game right now, and then I'll come back to you. What is surprising with this facial interface is that actually the cooling pad that comes with it is surprisingly effective. I thought it was a bit of a gimmick, but honestly, it does seem a lot more breathable than the one from my previous facial interface by the same brand. And what I thought or mistook for the same material, but it definitely feels like it is a more comfortable experience wearing this. I was doing this in summer in the garden, which is still quite warm, and I'm doing it playing Beat Saber with the new Prodigy soundtrack. Great, by the way, love it. It does mean you're actually exerting a little bit of energy. It gets quite warm quite quickly. So the fact this kept up with a bit of assistance from the BS1 Headstrap that I was wearing, which I'm reviewing shortly. But having said that, this actually very usable in summer, and it's comfortable. I thought maybe the thin bit of fabric towards the middle would be a problem for my forehead. Not a problem at all. There's a little bit of light bleed when you are adjusting the facial interface for glasses. Actually, I think it was more as I was pushing the headset closer to me that I noticed it. However, you can adjust it just a fraction more and that light bleed goes away. So it's just something that you should know, that you might have to play around with the settings there just to make sure that you don't get your light bleeding through, especially if you're in a well-lit room or, as I was, outside. And we can compare it to the latest generation. Obviously, we don't have a material on there, so let's just put that on. So we're checking like with like here. So we've got a larger footprint on this, but similar depths, similar ways that we are dealing with the ventilation. So actually, I don't think this will be any more ventilated. Maybe a little more ventilated. You can see over the top, you can see the ventilation system. If anything, is a little bit wider on the new model versus the old. Got the clear AMVR branding. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but this feels like it is quite a chunky facial interface, and this one feels slightly more lightweight. But the key difference here is the way that you adjust the distance from the headset. So on this one, we've got, as we said, we've got little wheels to turn, whereas the older one, I don't know if you can see that on camera, but we have these little gears that we can engage. You just pop it into the next stage on here, and we got 3 distances that you can specify, and you've got both top and bottom. And I don't know if you can see that on camera either, but you can see maybe that I put one of them in a different spot to the other. That was definitely non-intentional, but this has done me quite a long time. I've pretty much had this since we first got the Quest 3. I've had the Quest 3 for a long time now. Now we come to that part of the episode where we have to talk about price. Now, let's be honest, the FC4M is quite expensive. It's about double the price of the SE1 that I previously was using. So we're talking £40 versus currently market rate of 21 for the FC1. However, what you get with that is the magnetic quick swap pads, and they are really, really good. I very much enjoyed using those. We have the quick adjustment, which is again great if you're sharing the head strap. And I think the pads themselves are now a step up from what they previously were. So they helped me to keep much cooler in the same session at roughly the same time in the day as what I was using for the FC1. So I definitely have noticed an improvement. However, you think that then offers you enough value for money to go ahead and go purchase it, that's entirely up to you and what you value. But for me, the comfort alone is enough for me to open my wallet. In summer, it's very hard to get comfortable in VR, and this is one of those steps towards getting that great comfort. Okay, so in-game, it's quite comfortable. It is a step up from the old facial interface that I had. Quite a big step up. The reduced footprint here, where essentially for your forehead, I think is fine. I didn't find it as uncomfortable as perhaps I was a little bit worried about. It's actually about the same thickness, having a look at it, as what the stock interface is. So in terms of depth, about the same as what the stock interface is with the Quest 3. But what it does give you is this very quick adjustment, the ventilation, which you don't get with the stock interface, and it gives you very quick removable covers. So if you're sharing this, that's going to be a major concern without it. I really quite like that. It slots in very quickly, and if you wanted to share these things, you get another set of these pads and you replace it in seconds. Awesome. But yeah, comfort wise, No problems, no concerns, but I am using this with a halo strap. So maybe if you're using it without a halo strap, it's more of a concern. Ventilation, especially in this hot weather we have now, with a halo strap, with a fan, I mean, it's second to none. It's fantastic. So yeah, wholeheartedly recommend this product. Definitely worth grabbing for the Quest 3. Thanks for joining me on this look through of the FC4M. It is a very good facial interface. If you've got one yourself or have an alternative recommendation, please hit the comments below and let people know. It helps everyone in this very tight niche that is VR. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you like what I'm doing on the channel, hit that subscribe button. It helps everyone to find these videos that you're enjoying so much. Okay, that's it from me for this episode. Until next time, guys, bye-bye for now.